what's up? This is Corey. This is my channel, Reedy River Goods. I am also Reedy River Goods. I'm a one-man show. So I recently had a video up about a new laser engraver that I got for my leather workshop. And I accepted 2 jobs that are, for me, bulk orders, I guess. One is 25 portfolios, which I'm currently cooking on. The other was some keychains, and I don't know if I bit off more than I can chew. I knew how to use it sparingly, my laser engraver, but cutting out leather has been, I have wasted more leather and have more tore up pieces and bits, so I'm getting a little worried. I'm on a time crunch. I got about a week and a half left, but I keep getting real inconsistent stuff, so I keep messing with the settings, trying to get something that I can just repeat. So one benefit of using the same leather, when I was cutting out my portfolios, I had quite a bit of leather left over that I can practice on, and these are just kind of odds and ends, which I think, honestly, until I get it figured out, I'm probably going to need them all. So that kind of worked out. I'm digging in my egg crate there, and we're going to get these settings right, and we're going to make this thing happen. So I got this black hardware, and then put a black rivet right through the middle here. And it does make I've made a couple nice ones. I just can't keep repeating it. So when I first got my order, and I was like, this will be so easy. I'll be able to put it on one sheet, knock out 18, 20 of them real fast, and they'll be done. Hasn't quite gone that way. I got about 4 done right now. So I'm trying to do them one individually. The good thing is, as I'm letting those, they take about 2 minutes a piece, 2 minutes 30 seconds. I also have my bulk orders of my portfolios that I'm making, and that's just about the amount of time it takes me to sew both of these lines here. So as I got one going on there, I'm sewing over here. Got my stitching going on over there. Trying to speed this thing up, but it's just wearing me out. So we're just gonna be up in here tonight trying to figure it out. I'll show you some ones that come off the, here's one that came off. And what am I supposed to do with this? This thing's all charred up on the edges. I mean, that's how it came off of a laser. Anyway, this was another one that started. I just aborted mission right quick. This thing was just eating holes through it. So I certainly changed those settings. I did like this engraving the best though. Unfortunately came out the cleanest. I want them all to look like that, and then I just can't get the cuts right. So I'm trying to get the cut and that laser engraving done right on this leather, and we're just gonna keep hacking, see what happens, man. But I'm getting a little bit nervous. All right, so I'm gonna get one going here. I'll turn my vacuum on so it'll be a little bit loud, and I'm gonna be sewing over here. When that joker's done, check, see where we're at. I swear that machine just stopped as I tied my knot in the back here. All right, let's see how we did here. Shoot, it's charring at these edges. Well, cut straight through. It's a good start. That will luckily wipe off. That little soot right there. Let me get situated. We'll see if we can get this thing cleaned up and use it. All right, so I don't like this bottom edge, but let me see here. I do like the engraving. That came out really nice, clean. All the little letters are in there good. I'm gonna end up sanding that down. I don't like the amount of charring that we get when we run them through there, but with sanding, Tokonol, and sanding some more, it actually does come out pretty nice once you get them in there. Let's see if we can get this thing looking right there. I don't know, it's a little too much on there. Man, I don't know if it's the leather not sitting flat enough or what. I want to make these look good. They're for a presentation I gotta give for this company. do this bottom part just to see if I could salvage it. This top part's fine. And that's kind of the problem I'm having. Majority of it's good. And then I got an area or two that's just not cooperating. All right, let me get my magic token all here. Man, I want to find this right setting that just turns it on and goes. I thought I was getting away with something by charging what I did and thinking it was going to be easy. Now I'm having to earn it. I thought the machine was going to take care of all the work. And I know myself, and if something's not right, I'm not going to be able to pawn it off as a one I can sell, so I'm going to end up tossing it. Or maybe I'll give them some extras if they're slightly off. Because I do think it's salvageable. And maybe nobody else will know more, you know, me and the 9 people that tune into my channel here. Oh man, I don't know. I don't think I like it, man. Ah, it's just right in the front, right in the middle right there. Like anywhere else on there, I could probably get away with it. So it's gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna set a rivet in that hole there. Let me see if you can tell. You might not be able to tell on the camera. Filming this with an iPhone 6, but well, shoot, I can't even barely see it in the camera, but I can see it when I'm here. I don't know. This one's gonna go in the maybe pile, maybe at best. So I'm still at 4. Good night. All right, we're gonna keep at it. I'm trying to get this 5th one in. Maybe I'll change the settings a little bit more. It's just gonna be a work in progress, I guess. As frustrating as it comes. And every time I take and use some more scrap leather, I'm starting to question if I took some bulk jobs too soon. I should just kept with what I knew, which was the engraving part, and not the cutting out, because I'm not having much success with it. But we'll keep grinding. Hopefully we'll get these next couple and we'll get them right. We'll find something. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. I know something's right when that sucker falls right out. I think we got one. All right, after a bunch of duds, a couple of maybes. I got one here. Let's see if I can get this set off clean. Oh man, that looks like some settings. Now why can't I just repeat it? All right, well, I feel a little bit better. It's had me scared. I don't know, put that in my good pile. A couple of these maybes get to move on now, because that's what I'm looking for. Nice clean edges, nice clean. Look at this, man. Good. All right, that makes me feel a little bit better now. Let me see if I can just repeat it. That's the biggest problem. All right, so here we are, day 3. New Year's, Christmas, all the shenanigans were over, so it's time to get back to work. I've been slacking. I only got a couple days left. So I got 20 keychains I'm working on. Doesn't sound like too much, but the troubles I was having with my laser and really just getting acclimated to it were more concerning, and so it was just more of a time crunch. Look at this gnarly joint. Now I know my pattern didn't look anything like that. I think what happened, like 2 racks in there, and they kind of just sit on top of this metal and they can slide, and if they did, I think it fell down. I'm wondering about the table that I have it on. It's not very sturdy, so I've noticed a little bit of shaking in there. If there's any little bit of that, it's kind of creating problems. Which, worst part for me is this is one of the nicest engravings that I had. And I also noticed the second pass it was doing with the laser was more times when it would be very clean on the first pass, and then it'd do a second pass, and then it would hit and kind of start to fry. You can kind of see just got super heavy in there, as opposed to this one I stopped on the first pass. So you can see, I mean, obviously there's a huge difference in these, but this first pass is much cleaner. So I was just stopping them, and I learned that, and it actually got me in a good place. So let's see, here I am now. I started getting after it today. So I am working my way. That's where I'm at right now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 10 or 11, but they're coming out pretty nice. Now there is a whole lot of variation in the leathers. Some leathers are darker than others. It's the same hide, but obviously a side of leather, you're gonna have all kinds of variation. I like that about it, and my customer didn't have any real stipulations or anything, so I'm just gonna go with it. But I just want to look through the process a little bit. Basically what I'm doing, I'm assembly line style. I have most of them cut out at this point. I just didn't want to run the laser tonight. Just needed a break from it, so I figured I'd actually get in here and start doing some of the labor. So let me show you what I got here. All right, so let me show you what I'm working with. Here's some of the ones I cut out, some cleaner ones. Here's one I still got to get a little piece off here. And then these I actually got to put holes in. These were some earlier ones before I realized to put some holes in there. So I'll have to self-punch those. But basically what I'm doing is I'm starting with a rivet. And the reason I'm doing that, I did a couple early. And when I set this through the keychain and then hit the rivet in there, I was noticing it was getting this ugly kind of punching, because it was punching down on there, and it kind of had this weird, I didn't like it. Anyway, so I started doing them this way, and then I'm feeding this keychain. Now these are solid brass, and they're no joke. Well, this is iron actually, solid iron, multiple size here. And this is this is a black one here, but basically what I'm doing is I'm opening them up like this, putting that through there, and then just help feed them through this way. That way I can, because that's much thicker than that. These fingernails are getting eaten up, and these things are strong. So I was just kind of working them around that way. That way I protect the leather, and there's no real problems in there. But yeah, what I'm gonna do, this one I had gluing, I'm just gonna let that dry while I work on these others. One thing I have noticed, which I don't like, is all this soot that I'm getting, but it's kind of, it does wipe off. It's just all over my fingers, and I'm basically starting by doing that. So you can see there's quite a bit there. Yeah, so after I'm getting them cleaned up, I usually just, once I run over it once, it tends to clean off. What I really want to do is just make sure I get some Tokonol on these inside edges, because once I fold them over, it's much more difficult that way. So I'm just gonna hit these, knock these edges down, give me a cleaner look on the side, and once they are finished up, they do look nicer when you have them. Have all those edges nice and clean. So I'm using I mentioned earlier, solid brass cap rivets, double cap rivets. The ones I'm using are 6mm. I think I mentioned before, the leather is 4.5, 5.5 ounce. And in the laser, I actually had them engrave these holes in there too, or cut those holes in there. And so I'm just feeding those through. And actually, I don't even know how, but I lined them up. They lined up perfect. Beginner luck, I think. But I'm essentially punching these caps down. I think I got a video on setting a rivet if you've never done it before, but not too terribly difficult. Been working with this big old orange hammer for a couple weeks now, and I actually like it better than the old mallets that I used to use. So I got that in there. What I'll do, I'll actually glue it first. I'm gonna glue it here, and I just use some barge. To save on costs, they actually told me not to stitch. I gave them 2 different prices for stitching all the way around and for just contact cement. And by the time I'm done, I don't know if you can really tell, but these edges are completely sealed up. They should be good to go. So I told him it does add some strength to it, but there shouldn't be any other problems. And if there were, I told him I'd guarantee my work and I'd make it right. So that's the easiest thing I can do. But I'm pretty confident this barge will do the trick. So I'm putting a nice smooth little bead across there. I want to make sure I get every part of it. And then flip it over and do the same on the inside. Back or front, whatever side it is. So in pricing these, I basically bought a 100-pack of these rivets. Figured that price up for each. The buckle, or excuse me, the key rings. I think those were, since I bought 20, I want to say they were like $1.75 a piece. And then leather, well, I used a whole lot more than I needed to, but it was kind of, I chalked that up to learning experience. And so it wasn't much more than maybe 2 square feet of leather. I don't even think it would have been that much, honestly. Probably a square foot and a half, maybe. And so, yeah, I priced them up pretty well. I think even though I had to spend some more time doing some work, I still think I make a pretty good, made a good decision in my pricing, but that's kind of how I figured them up. Again, these are going to be pennies, $1.70. The leather, maybe, let's see, I think that was about $14, $15 a square foot, somewhere in that range. And so I think I still made a pretty good return on there. All right, so this one I had sitting to the side. Where's this one just glued? This one I had sitting to the side. This one I had sitting to the side. And so all I'm gonna do, let's see if we can, is I got this, I think I found this nice granite workspace here. Just gonna get those edges. Man, these things came out so good and clean. I love it. So, just gonna lay this over the top. Seal this sucker up. Alright, from there I'm gonna wipe these edges again. And then I'm gonna touch them up. I got some 220 sandpaper. It's my best friend. Keeps me honest. But all I'm doing is just kind of roughing these up. And they're coming together really nicely. Kind of sealing together. I'll throw some Tokonol on there, rub them with my slicker. And that's about all it takes for one. So I figured in about 10 minutes or so a piece. So like I said, I let them know. I was like, listen, I'm not going to put together some cheap keychains with some crappy hardware and make it look trashy. I said I'm gonna use nice leather, I'm gonna use nice hardware, and the cost is gonna be this. I said they actually appreciated it, so I'm gonna make them look nice for them. Yeah, I think my biggest problem though as I work with it is the soot. And if I may, I'd like to use a quick pun and just say, "Aw, soot." Been thinking of that all night. I appreciate you letting me use that. All right, I love seeing this Tokonol come on here. Even if I'm just rubbing there with my finger, I can see them starting to seal up nicely. I'm thinking at the end I might touch up. Maybe I'll go to like a 3. Well, I don't know, whatever the next 300 level is. Sandpaper, that's 220, so 300 something, and then run some wax over them too. I'm gonna keep rubbing this around the edges. Like I said, I'm just gonna hit with my slicker right around and then wipe it on down. And like you can see there, after you sand and you wipe off with the towel, you don't really get any more residue on there. That was my biggest concern, that it would continue to bleed and kind of, maybe leave your pants pocket in a mess or something like that. But I need a new slicker. What y'all think? This thing's about, I make watch bands and I punch the holes in there and I tore this thing up. I like to look at this part. That's cool, but gonna start a GoFundMe for a $6 slicker. I saw some of those cool looking ones I might go for. I do want a machine that can do them because I think that's going to be my best investment moving forward to finish edges. I don't know if if it worked too, I guess you could still run them on there, but this isn't too bad. Like I said, I'm not spending a ton of time on them. I may go one more level and maybe throw some beeswax in there, but I just want to make sure they're sealed up. There's no gaps in there. You can't tell there's a seam, and we will call it a day. Hopefully to wrap these up this weekend, and I need to get them out by Monday. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. That's not too bad. I can knock this out. It is about midnight, so I need to get to bed, but catch that groove. What can I do? All right. So there we go. And then what I'm going to do, let me see, I'm going to use one of these little buckles here. So this is a 1-inch key ring. And like I said, they are strong, man. I like this iron, and they are clamped down tight. So I'm trying to prevent scraping anything up on the leather. I mean, leather recovers well, but I still didn't want to tear it up putting on a buckle. Key ring. Darn, I keep calling them buckles. All right, so I'm just feeding this around, opening it up, sliding. Open it up, sliding. Now at the very, very end, if you're not careful like I am, right there, it does kind of pinch for a second. I just go back on the other side. Bring it up, slide it on. There you have it. 19 more. Now I'm gonna knock these out. I'll show you the end product here in just a minute. And if you got any questions or anything, let me know. But I think I've, for the most part, I'm pretty excited where I am. I think I have 5 left, 6 left, but yeah, from where I was at the other day and messing with these settings, trying to get them right, I am very happy with what I got left, and also how long it takes to finish them. Now that I've gotten them cut, I hope I don't have to cut anymore, but I'll have to check my math here. But if I do, I think I got the right settings now, and I got them saved in there. So when I pick up round keychain, it's gonna pop up right there. Use this leather, and we should be good. So.